you can create a unique sprite using your own photograph or the photograph of somebody else. So for this example, I used Photo Booth. If you don't have Photo Booth or if you don't have Mac, you obviously can use your own photos from your own digital camera. What I'm going to do first, before opening the program Scratch, I'm going to simply choose the photo that I want and I'm going to click and drag it to my desktop. Okay, it should be there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close out of Photo Booth. Alright, and I'm going to open my program Scratch. Okay. Now, what I want to do first, I can go ahead and get rid of this little cat. I'm going to use my scissors to cut him out. Goodbye. Alright, now I want to make a new sprite. Okay, now in this example, you can actually draw one yourself, but for the example, I'm going to import the photo that I was telling you guys about. It's on my desktop right here. Okay, and I'm going to use this one. I'm going to go ahead and press OK. There I am. Okay, now what you might want to do first, you might want to go ahead and use your eraser, and definitely I would recommend that you use a big size brush because it's going to just help you so much. Now obviously you don't want to cut your head or anything like that. I just get as close, oops, I just cut off my foot. That's not cool. Get as close as you can, and obviously, you know, you can change the size of your brush as soon as you get rid of all the big sections. You don't want to waste too much time erasing because then you don't, you won't be able to take advantage of the time that you have to program. So obviously, I'm just going to be doing this, ever so quickly. Okay, goodbye, background. Now that I've done that and I have most of what I want, I can go ahead and change the size of my brush. Maybe something a little bit like this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start taking away. Very, very slightly. Remember, if you do make a mistake, you can undo it, or you can do a Control-Z. Command-Z, excuse me. Oops, cut off a little too much of my hair. Okay. As you guys can see, there we go. Goodbye, edges. Kind of cut off a little bit of my jacket, but okay. For the sake of time, it doesn't really matter. Ooh, okay. Almost. Almost. Cut off a little bit too much of my shoe, but who cares? It's just an example. Alright. Well, as you can see, I got most of what I wanted. Just go ahead and clean up the edges a little bit here. This is so much more easier with Adobe Photoshop. This would have been done a long, long time ago, but obviously we're using the free program Scratch. Okay, so I'm more or less happy. Obviously you can see here that I didn't do that. I can still continue to change the brush size if I want, if I'm a perfectionist, which for the example, not really, because I have other things I want to show you guys. So, okay, more or less, right? You guys get the idea, right? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and simply, I'm going to OK it. There I am. Here I am in the program Scratch. Okay, great. Now, first I want to go ahead and put myself in a pretty cool background. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my stage. I'm going to go ahead and click on Backgrounds. Now, I can either do one of two things. I can paint an original background, or in this case, for this example, I'm going to import a background. Alright, I'm going to pick something indoors because I'm kind of like dressed to be inside, right? Not too many options in this one. But just for the example, I'm going to put myself in a party room. Yeah, that works. Okay, so here I am. There I am in my little party room. Now, remember, the stage is the background. You do not want to give, you know, a lot of people sometimes they put a sprite in the background and then they ask me, why can't I move the sprite? Well, keep in mind, as you can see here, that you can't do the same things. If you look here, there's no motion. You cannot move your stage. Obviously, you can move your sprite. So as you can see, when I click on my stage, there is no option for motion. Okay? Looks, I can change the look of my stage. I can give my stage sound. I can also give it a control. I can give it sensing. I can give it operators, variables, and a pen. But no motion. Remember, the background cannot move. All right. For the sake of this, I'm going to also import another different background. I'm going to go ahead and do the chalkboard would be fine. All right. Here I am. So I have two. Now I've been asked many times, how can I transfer one background to another? This is one way. Make sure you're still on the stage. You got to give it a script. Remember that script is another word for instructions in this example. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a control. Maybe I'm going to put when the space bar is pressed, or you can go ahead and select it any which way you'd like, but for the example we're going to make sure that it's the space bar. So when I press the space bar, I want something to happen. I want the look to change. I'm going to go ahead and just put here next background. Alright, let's see what happens. So when I press my space bar, ooh, there we go. Yeah? Obviously, I can go ahead and incorporate or import others. I'm going to use a bedroom. I'm going to go ahead and import another room. I'm going to go ahead and import even a kitchen, even though I'm not a kitchen person. And we'll go ahead and import, just for the fun of it, something in nature. Maybe, let's put me by a tree. Yeah. Okay. Now, my script says when the space bar is pressed, it's going to go to the next background. Okay? If you want to be more specific and you want it to go to a specific numbered background only, keep in mind here that everything has a name. Okay? But obviously for the example, we just want to leave it like so. So every time I push my space bar, I'm automatically going somewhere else. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about moving my sprite. I'm going to go ahead and click here. I'm going to give myself a control. I'm going to say that when I press the little green flag, which is this green flag right here, that something's going to happen. Okay, maybe I want to wait 1 second before I do that thing, or even 2 seconds, whatever, it depends. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a motion movement. I'm going to move, let's say, 35 steps. Okay? I'm going to also incorporate a sound. I'm going to go ahead and play a sound. Now, a lot of people, they ask me, well, how can I play a sound? There's nothing there. Obviously, when you click record, you don't only have the option of recording your own voice. You can if you want to. If you want to do that, you simply click record. Check 1, 2. This is a test. I'm going to press OK. Now that I have my sound recorded, if I want, I can change it. Test to sound. All right. And I'm going to go to my script. And when I click here, I have now the option of test sound. Now I'm going to click here and you'll see what's going to happen for now. Check 1, 2. This is a test. Okay, nothing too exciting over there. Check 1, 2. This is a test. Okay, I'm going to go into my sounds. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that. I don't want it. I'm going to import a sound this time. I'm going to go ahead and import a human sound. Maybe, I don't know, let's do a laugh female. Sounds kind of funny. But okay, and I'm going to okay it. I'm going to go ahead and also import another sound. Maybe I'm going to do footsteps. Okay, so I have now 2 sounds. I'm going to go back to my script. Now it says play sound. Let's do the laugh of a female. I'm going to go here. I'm going to put wait, maybe like 2 seconds would be fine. I'm going to go back to my sound. And I'm going to go ahead and put here play sound. Okay, actually no, I want to change this because I want to play the sound until it's done. I don't want it to be interrupted. Okay, so I'm going to play my footsteps sound. And then I'm going to play the female laughing. Okay, cool. So let's see what's going on. We're going to click the green flag. Okay, doesn't really seem that exciting at the moment. Obviously, we only have a control, we have a sound, and we have a motion. Let's give it a look. Maybe I want to say, I don't know, hello, or something else. How you doing? Okay. Now, a lot of people have asked me, what does it mean to switch a costume? Well, as you can see here, we have switched to costume, whatever number that you have, but obviously my Sprite, as you can see, Sprite number 1, it only has one costume. I can obviously import, or I can paint another one. I'm going to go ahead and press paint, and I'm going to go ahead and press import here, and I'm going to go ahead and look on my desktop. I'm going to go down, and I am going to click on this one. I think it's a little bit different if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and do just really quickly the eraser thingy. Really super duper fast, because I want to show you guys how this works. Okay, don't have time to be a perfectionist. Okay. All right, you guys get the idea. Okay, so imagine, just please imagine that this is like perfect and that there's no background there. Yeah, I didn't really want to spend too much time, otherwise I don't, the video might get too long, and we're not trying to bore you guys to death. So we want you guys to start, your own unique programming and all that such stuff. All right, so imagine it's perfect. Okay, it's perfect. Let's just fix my head. I mean, really. Okay, obviously it's not perfect. I did the best I could. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just okay it. Oh, my little toes. Boy. Photoshop. Okay, I'm going to okay it. Now, as you can see, I have costume number 1 and costume number 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, now I'm going to give myself a script. I want to be using this costume. Now, let's say that I want to switch to costume number 2, for example. Or it could be number 1. Now, as you can see, I just moved. Now, maybe I don't want to switch to that costume. Maybe I just want to switch to the next costume. But maybe I want to do that by giving it a control, that when the space bar is pressed. So not only am I changing backgrounds, yeah, I am also changing my costume or the position. So this is when animation kind of like starts to take place, obviously. It's just cool. Just a way for you to do it. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. And there I changed my costume. Okay, so just keep in mind, remember, that is one sprite, okay? This sprite can have a numerous amount of costumes, all right, or styles if you want to think about it like that. But just consider, a costume, it changes the way that the original sprite was, okay? Remember, you can give your sprite a name. So maybe if this has a special pose, standing straight, for example. And maybe the other one, hand on hip. Just in case you have a large number and you don't want to get confused, you can change the name. If you make a mistake and you want to eliminate something, obviously you can go ahead and click the X to delete that costume. Now, some people, they do have a little bit of confusion when it comes to adding a new sprite. You can go ahead and do that by clicking here, here, or here. For the example, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select Get Surprise Sprite. All right, cool. It actually happened to be a little man. All right, he's a little smaller than I am. Let's go ahead and make him bigger, shall we? To do that, we can make him bigger here. Obviously, we can make him shrink if we wanted to. All right, there we go. Now, obviously, you can see here that this little X, it stays here. So just kind of like click somewhere else, and then you can just automatically move him without growing him. All right. Now, as you can see, I'm on my sprite. I have instructions, but on the second sprite, there's no instructions, there's no information. So let's go ahead and put when sprite number 2 is clicked, which that's his name. That's the name of the sprite, right? Let's actually give him another costume, shall we? Let's go to import. Let's go to costumes. Let's go to people. Okay, and let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can find my little friend, which I have no idea where he is. But he should be here somewhere. We'll just put this guy. That's good enough. Okay, so we have that and that. All right. So remember that you can definitely modify any sprite that you want. There's no unlimited amount of sprites that you could have. Remember, if you want to delete something, click here. If you want to delete it, obviously the little scissors will help you. Let's say if you would like to duplicate something, you may also do that. So let's say you want to duplicate this dude. All right, I have 2 of him. Oh God, not cute. Let's delete him. Goodbye. And goodbye. So that's just a little way for you guys to start exploring and to make your own sprite. And remember, make sure you're on the sprite section, not the stage section. Don't go ahead and do a bunch of work by thinking that you're making a sprite when you're really making a background. So just kind of double check for those things. Okay, obviously you can also have sounds too in your background. You can do a lot of things. Well, guys, before we finish, obviously I want to show you guys how to save something. It's been brought up quite a few times. A lot of people have been saying, well, I can't save directly in my USB. I'm connecting my USB right now. We can either click here, save this project. Now it's automatically going to go ahead and open up. You won't be able to see your USB if it's connected. I would recommend that you save it to your desktop. Give it a name. Melly Walking. I don't know. And make sure you put the project author. Okay, this is to show how to make a sprite with your own pick. Cool. All right. There it is. It's on the desktop. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quit Scratch, or you can do a Command Q. Now, as you can see, here I am, Melly Walking. Can y'all see that? Melly Walking. I'm going to go ahead and open my memory. Maybe I want to go ahead and give it a new folder. And let's go ahead and call the new folder Scratch Projects. Okay. All right. If I even want to, I can go ahead and give it a little color so I can distinguish it a bit better. Okay. So it's green. Now, I'm simply going to click and drag. Wait just a second, and there it is. So not only do I have a backup on my desktop, but I also have it on my USB just in case I do want to go ahead and work on it in the future. If you do want to open it up in the future, you simply can go to your USB, double click here, and of course your work will appear there. If you don't do it that way, you can also just open up Scratch and you can go to File, Open, and all you have to do is look for your project. Remember the one that we saved on our desktop? Where is it? There it is, Melly Walking. Okay, I'm going to OK it. So there's more than one way for you to back up your project, all right? But anyways, guys, I hope that this tutorial was helpful, and I hope that you're able to do this at home. Remember that Scratch is a free program, and you can learn and explore and do lots of different things. If you want to go to the Scratch website directly, simply click where it says Share. You can go to where it says right here, go to the Scratch website, and automatically it will take you to the scratch.mit.edu website. And you can go ahead and simply select Projects. And there's a lot of cool projects that you guys can investigate, check out, and it's just a way for you all to, just explore. Remember that programming is about exploring, about trying things out, debugging, making mistakes, and having a good time. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.